Hey everybody, my name is Jacob Sire, and I am super duper excited to be here today to answer your questions on songwriting, composition, and arrangement. Let's get to it. Matt has a short series of questions that I find pretty relatable to one another, so let's jump in and see what we've got here. His first question is, have you ever thought about collaborating with another musician? If so, whom? Yes, especially now during COVID, I am really craving that camaraderie and that dynamic sense of play that you get when you're tossing ideas around with other musicians. When I was younger, I had this very focused vision in producing solo music, and now that I've kind of scratched that first major itch and released a couple of albums of solo guitar music, I'm really looking forward to doing more collaboration, although I am still planning on releasing some more solo music. The first person to come to mind that I am collaborating with currently is the award-winning composer and ethnomusicologist, who also happens to be my wife and awesome life partner, Devin West. We've been together for 7 years now and have produced music for film scores and for the fun of it and under commission. So back in June, we launched our first official collaboration under the title of Ember Duo, where we released an arrangement and cover of Tigran Hamasyan's beautiful piece, To Love. We are really looking forward to producing a bunch of multi-instrumental tracks just for your enjoyment. So seriously, you guys, stay tuned. We are so stoked about the music that is coming. Otherwise, I have a few buddies on Instagram who have reached out and I've reached out to collaborate with, and I'm just like teeming with excitement to get this kind of stuff started. Matt's second question says, do you ever see yourself adding singing to your music, or would that be moving too far away from your current style? I don't think it is moving too far away from my current style, honestly. I've absolutely sung with my music before, it just never really made the final cut. I'm not a lyricist, so if I were to add vocals to one of my songs, it would most likely just be vocalizations, which is just humming or singing without words, mostly to accentuate melodies or just add texture to my music. While I think that lyrics are presently and historically one of the most efficient and direct ways to deliver a story, I'm not quite done exploring the palette that instrumental music really has to offer. Plus, I kind of just feel like instrumental music lends itself more to the listener. If you're listening to instrumental music, you're most likely doing it on purpose, or you have it on in the background. Either way, I just feel like instrumental music is such a colorful way to express ourselves. Matt's third and final question is, on which of your pieces have you seen the strongest audience response, and why do you think people have responded so strongly to them? It kind of depends on the circumstance, so I'll break it down into 3 settings, which is going to be live, at home, on my studio recordings, and both. When I play music live, audience retention kind of varies. Even though I'm very grateful to have really good audiences, people come to concerts for different reasons, and sometimes they're socializing or drinking or whatever. That said, the 2 songs that I can usually bring them in with are Cautious Reactions and Waves from my 2018 album Migration. The reason that I feel that these work so well is because they're flashy and technical and super funky. I've basically had Parliament and James Brown and classic rock like blasted into my person since I was a toddler, because my dad used to take me to he pretty much started taking me to like college basketball games and football games from the time I was like 2, and we were literally 5 feet away from these 15-piece like horn bands and pep bands that were just completely obliterating us with this super high energy music. So that kind of music, like blues and funk and classic rock, it's unlike a lot of people where it's just kind of ingrained in me as a pump me up kind of music. On the other hand, there are those that are more introspective and might just want to stay home and listen to the studio quality recordings that I've given. And in those cases, I find that the 2 pieces that work the most well are Home and Reunion. Home and Reunion are actually 2 pieces that complement each other in their meaning, and I've actually been surprised to find that most listeners who comment on those tunes associate those tunes together. I will just say that these are 2 of the most genuine pieces I feel like I've ever written. The composition process for both of those came out very organically, which doesn't mean that they were easy to write or play, but that the process was just very clear to me and I knew exactly what I needed to do to finish them. And I'm just really grateful to know that the energetic yet nostalgic flavor of both of those tunes have really resonated with my listeners. Both of these pieces are very Celtic-centric, very inspired by Celtic dances. I actually grew up on, as my dad kind of took me to these big blasting concerts, my mom was a Celtic fiddler and actually grew up playing violin in an orchestra, and I had that flavor of music delivered to me as a kid as well. So home, I always dedicate to my mom, Joni, and reunion I've dedicated to my late dad, Chris Sire. Both of my parents are eccentric and colorful and artistically creative and talented, and both are very disciplined as well. And I feel that I wouldn't even be half of the man or musician I am today if it weren't for their awesome upbringing. So thank you, Mom. Finally, there are those tunes that work really well on both the stage and on the recording. Those 3 tunes that I think work well on both settings are from my 2013 album, A Change in Season, and they are Ode to an Artist, Story, and Time Lapse. The reason that I think these work so well, from my point of view anyway, is that they're both very melodic and groove-centric. There are 3 core elements of music, and obviously many, many others, that derive from harmony, rhythm, and melody. And you can typically utilize 2 of these to effectively get your point across to your audience. I tend to gravitate more towards writing melodies and using catchy rhythms to accent those melodies. I just want to wrap up this line of questions by saying I am so grateful, especially now more than ever, to those of you who listen to my music and have come to my concerts in the past. It has been a wild ride transitioning from the public to being online and doing a little bit of both here and there, but I'm just really happy that there are those of you out there who are still listening. So thanks for bringing up all these questions, cousin. It's been really awesome talking music with you.